2021. We get a very strong analysis here where we get for can present tuna. The topic we try to analyze the president in trips there. When I will get the videos there. Most of the countries where the president don't visit, Onago can see some of those videos and some of the statements we go make that then contact them there. And we want to ask, what is the responsibility of parliament? What they see rapidly, we head of states, they go by all kind sort of like invitation, or you don't know all kind of invitation, or maybe they ask me the inviter. We not therefore disagree for say the president not get right for travel, okay? But again, there is an adage. Even too much of good thing, even when something a good thing, an excessive one is not good. Like what I can say, if you're angry, but when it's you bear food per smack, it's a colic. So now that make we are today for Camplay for now. Some of them videos alone and also the president don't work all. Now we finish this and we come and introduce we board and the guests now the studio.
Subsequent platform for news every day now we countries alone for education, entertainment, political affairs, TV. We got enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit TV.
Yeah, so Famula, welcome, brother, from the UK, Mr. Ibrahim. You will greet people who listen if I'm right.
Yeah, good evening to listeners and welcome again to another edition.
All right, very good. Let me go straight to the point. Famula, let me just make a disclaimer here. We not bring on this program for discredit the government. We not bring on this program for condemn the president entirely. In fact, we agree. We want for support say Nadi. Sort of like part of the job of the president for make he extend friendship to international partners and for at least they make some. I mean, for let it make some get some difference out of those relationships, get some benefits. But again, just like we try for analyze the whole thing, we not can let where people in the try for politicize everything or see the bigger picture. We don't see of recent times, the places there, the countries there, back and forth, we are the presidents. According to what you understand, statistically speaking, these are the president, are the only presidents as far as my memory concerned, and the entire history of Salone, where within 3 to 4 years don't travel past any other president. Like a beginning, I mean, for travel, you find, but even the travel, therefore, be some kind of transparency. When the president comes first, what did they foresee? Each and every travel where the president travel, it be transparent. The president, press statements, they come up from the press secretary, Keketoma. They announce how much people in the entourage of the president they go, how much days they go take, the purpose, and so on and so forth. And even if the president comes, then they explain some of the benefits there. But this happened for a few months. 9 and cuts, then give blackouts to the general public. We no longer know why the president travel. We no longer know if invited the inviter or they ask for invitation. I mean, it be just too rampant. But the thing would catch your attention, if you now remember when the president just take power. When you go to Nigeria, okay, or when he travel, some of him travel them, it puts Salon in a very bad state, because in one of the state visits we go in Nigeria, he even talks say we get a battered economy. So now that make it a travel for let you go try for connect and wipe out those bad images and bring or attract investors there. I'll take a look at this trip we make in Nigeria. I hope now the video this.
Muhammadu Buhari has played host to the Sierra Leonean president in Abuja today. The Sierra Leonean president's visit is part of efforts to renew the bond of friendship between the two countries. Among a wide range of issues discussed include preventive measures to tame the outbreak of Ebola in the DR Congo. On the issue of Sierra Leone's economy, President Bio says that his administration inherited a bad economy, but he is determined to go ahead with his plans to make education free in his country.
Gallo, get the ambassador to come join the line. Ambassador,
came today to express our country's gratitude to the Federal Republic of Nigeria for standing by us, fighting with us during our time of need when we had the Civil War. This is my first time in Nigeria after having been elected. I also wanted to pay this courtesy call to renew our bond of friendship and to see how we can deepen this relationship. We have certainly discussed a whole range of issues, and of course the health situation, security, trade, the movement of our people have been at the center of our discussion. Definitely we are concerned about what is happening in the DRC, and we are taking preventive measures, and that was discussed in our interaction.
Okay, Fambulen, that was then when the president traveled to Nigeria. Well, immediately after that travel again, we see the president again. He gathered some entourage when they go to UK. They spend more than £300,000. They say for attract investors. Let's take a look at this quickly back.
We're here in the UK for several different reasons. There's the UK Africa Summit that I'm following the President at, where we're having high-level meetings with people including the President of the World Bank and the Minister of Finance. At the same time, I'm also participating in the Education World Forum, where I'm meeting with all the other Ministers of Health, with the UK Minister of Health and the DFID, and also having strategic partnerships.
Sierra Leone is ripe for business because we have done quite a lot to change the landscape. Once known as a place for all the wars in the world, one of the most cruel places, once known for Ebola, once known as the most corrupt country, we have done quite a lot in a very short time to change that image. And we have also worked very hard on the business landscape. We are changing laws, we have introduced incentives, we are supporting businesses even after registration, after care service has improved. So we know that the private sector is the engine for growth. We provide the policy environment, and the private sector will lead the way. We want to be a destination for foreign direct investment. We are also providing support for our own diaspora, Sierra Leoneans out in the world who want to go back, and also the local business people. So it's a holistic approach to inviting everybody to go and participate in our space.
Okay, Fambule, that was we got a lot of videos and I'm not gonna say most of it we're not going to play all the trips anyway, but we got a lot of trips that where the president don't go. Now we can see some of them videos and they now not going to stay. We got a lot fun on our store. But again, let me just make the team very sort of like more professional. We'll bring kind of brother for lay, at least he can help buttress. Now let's look at we don't play two clips. One in Nigeria where the president be take power in 2018. He visit Nigeria. One of the things where he talk, he say Salon the economy is battered and inherits a battered economy. So therefore, they look for partnership. That is one. And secondly, in free healthcare, I mean free quality education. Now one of his priority. Now again, he go to UK immediately after he take power. Again, they spend up to 300,000, or some people say over 500,000 pounds, with billions of billions. We forgot attract investors. Say. Now. In Nigeria, he said we get a battered economy. In the UK, he said one of the things where we don't try and act about corruption. Now, again, one of the proponents there or the supporters of this government, what did they say? They say the president or even the president from your words. He said the reason why he travel now because he want to clean salon image. We image be done dirty. The previous government don't disgrace the country everywhere in the world. Now we bring waiting he talk now radio 98.1 before border take over.
Now go be even though you say some of them money are within the alleged say the governments they use, government officials and they use. You say documents can define and need to go to the right place. The problem here and concern where people get now that some they refer to them as misplaced of priorities. Because if you look like how you say some of the billion in Leone they sound big because na salon we did. And we economy not too strong. So people, the misplace of priority here is spending those billions of leons on traveling, per diem and other things. The situation of the people in the country, concerning them day-to-day living and the bread and butter issue. Which one for them be preferable for putting money in the on traveling or ensure see the people in the country really they able to forget them living with less stress as they expect the new direction for bring?
Well, this expectation not salon, now we get for change. Nobody not the change economy overnight. And I not even talk about traveling. Now you don't talk about traveling, so I will cancel
because
down
the
now.
allegations and where they come out, so now they spend
Yes,
money for
allegations. But when you watch Gigi Snow, when the kind of bad name will be get around the world, when I asked the ambassador, they almost drove on a meeting. Now, Moscow. Why? Because of the kind of reputation we will contribute on get. If you not send somebody there, you not go there and clear that reputation. Most of what we able to do, not from we national budget, now from outside. If you not go clear there your reputation, then that reputation with the country don't get. Who say you they go? We always talk about donors and development. But if you get an awful reputation, who say they say you not serious, now thief no more you depend, you know they account for anything, then you need for clear travel. Now the only country this who say then they ask who say the president they go. All of the meetings then where they say at the travel, and they meet all the other heads of state that day. So when I want make we day as a pariah state, who say we know they go, who say we compete day, we are go Russia. All the 54 heads of state were there. Where go China, they were all there. Where go Shogun, where the Commonwealth, they were all there. So how now make we be part of the international community without we not go there? I have to be there. And I mean, I'm the only one where they travel inside passenger plane. Now West Africa, yeah, maybe me and Liberia. All the other one they get in plane. Because of the same sort of attitude we get towards enough for travel. I not like for travel, I not like for claiming inside plane. But I take this responsibility and traveling a part of that responsibility. And so that comparison, we they put billions into the hands of Sierra Leoneans every month, paying for the people they say free quality education. Go check na finance and see how much money they go into quality education. I just tell you now, 36% of the population of this country, they directly benefit from that money we would give. We would they pay for them picking there. They are not even count to them parents there. They are not even count to the multiplier effect where we will get them picking there, all go school and begin take care of themselves, their communities, and this nation. But we just, now the little things about travel, this, that. I don't like to travel. But the task where I take, it requires me for travel, for able mend and cure the kind of bad neighbor we don't get in this world and in this country, so that we're able to function as a respected member of the international.
Yeah, so family on another area from the Pine Sepsi, Salon be get dirty name, bad name. So if he not go there for go clear that name there, imagine we get more than 200 countries in the world, and the president, go fire you too. Like probably around 50 countries or so. Other people and say in more than that we don't travel. So he get boku side for go clear the country name. And again, another interesting to it talk. He say they're not for acts who say they travel because other heads of states and they travel without being questioned. Now bring you can Mr. Kamara. What now you take based on these two trips? Because we got a lot of videos there for complete. The pine travel and we get a lot and lot of them. So we comment section is free. Yes, I see one comment that come from Furo Kwari. She will say, "Yes, hello, we really need prayer." We got a lot of videos. What now you take between the two travel, one and Nigeria, where go toxic, we not get money. So we want investor. You go to UK, go organize donor attraction for attract donor for Canada Salon. They spend more than 300 or 400,000 pounds according to sources from which we get. What are your take? Is it what's not your general perception on these two travel alone? We now go to the other end.
No, if my own take on my colleague, it just be the takeover, the reign of governance by then. Then Salon people then be the crave for change. So the change be to happen. So personally, the need been there the beginning, let you do few. You go touch, try for establish some relationship and create that assurance. You understand? So if I limit in travel to the two, where it just when I've been forced there when they go out and come in, I would say that not been bad because I've been the start. Yeah, if last stop, who's that you question stop? Probably more question will come.
All right, okay. Fabulous. Let me go back to the part in order to travel back. Quick one. Let me go the part travel back go na Gabon. Not play on that. No, not outside the dance. Not the count mandates. Then later. Let's go na the Gabon.
At the Leone International Airport by Prime Minister, head of government Rose Cristiano Socorabonda. A head-to-head meeting between the two personalities provided an overview of the diplomatic ties between Gabon and Sierra Leone and the current affairs of the continent. Julius Maada Bio will meet his Gabonese counterpart for a 72 working and friendship stay. The discussion between the two statesmen will revolve around issues of common interest. On a continental scale, the number one Gabonese and his host will also address issues related to integration through the African Continental Free Trade Area. The president of Sierra Leone will take advantage of his visit to Gabon to get inspiration from the Komon-Tok Presidential Economic Zone, a benchmark for the diversification of the Gabonese economy. Let's recall that the economic zone of Komon-Tok received an international distinction, the best economic zone in the category of wood products. This area is also distinguished by its public-private partnership policy, one of the most successful in Africa. Julius Maada Bio will visit the province of Leone. There, he will soak up the palm oil production and processing process in one of the largest palm oil production plants on the continent.
Okay, so Fambulen, that was the trip where the president make na Gabon. One of the things we then say for go take inspiration from Gabon because Gabon will do very well in terms of economic and infrastructure development. So yes, we get the other videos and for Cam. Let's just bring in. Okay, now we these two texts will come. Another one they come up from Asan Kanu. We say HEBO is the only president who is always accompanied by his wife on any international mission, double losses. Suleiman Bundu, they say, Bio is traveling more than any president I know. What now you take on taking further inspiration from countries like this? This is 2019.
The thing is, because like I just stretch the conversation anyway. The man did travel a lot. So whether it's necessary, now that's not the question. The truth is, all the reason and way they outline why it travel, not to reason and why you for travel for. Because comparatively, they will compare to other heads of state way they in other parts of the world where they do relatively well, but they need to travel much. In the sense, now information world with it now. So always they talk about, you get like the option like virtual meeting, just email, letters, you get your foreign minister, you get, in a small delegation, you get any kind of people that we can send per some trip them, we will reach out. And then Kiebu do the same thing where you go for. Because you as a president say no need for go forget that inspiration.
Yeah.
You understand? You Kiebu just send somebody where they go on that study how Gabon be there and waiting and then do for take the outside and then we will bring down them. We will be more cost effective than where you they go with that delegation and charter jets and then sort of things. And most of in travel the way they go to the most recent like the Expo 20 and all that stuff. Then the information always we there, you're able to attract investors there without you not physically travel. You just need to put them out there. You're able to market the musician then. You understand? Make them do well without you not really physically need for travel with them and go with them and spend so much resources. You understand? These are things, and because what you look at in a nutshell about in administration about all of in travel, a lack one thing we need to call like in fiscal discipline, and that a lack. Because if you get alternative way for achieve something where it costs you less money, you always opt for that option rather than you go for the most expensive one. Even if, for argument's sake, it try for argue say every travel way they travel now for now a legit reason way good or advantageous to a country. For the same reason there, it able day back salon, it use alternative ways for achieve the same things and they without travel. And where country as a president, where you take over a country, get good economy, we get the pandemic. The pandemic hit a lot of countries, including Salon. We know to an exception. And things are hard, things are difficult. The cost of commodities, they go up, you're able to create job, the economy not good. A lot of difficulties and the one way where you did one, because in other words, you're able for the raise more revenue as a government. And now the part is what I talk about in fiscal discipline now. If you're able to raise revenue doing difficult tendering, you for able to cut costs way for government where they call austerity. In other words, because now two ways they want government. You're able to raise revenue, you for find way how you they cut cost, but continue for the expend more money where they make money. Even in business, I can always bring that in terms of business. Go if you expenditure pass you revenue, then that basically P&L. You know what I'm saying? Profit and loss. You end up with. But worst case, if they get better revenue, cut you cost, let you date in a situation where they make loss or profit, or call in accounting break even. That alone they make sense. No profit, no loss. At least it makes sense. But if you they spend more than waiting, they get like revenue. At the end of the day, they able get no reason for justify you traveling there. So in a nutshell, like that no more. If we give you more time, you get more stuff. We go more details into how if we're able to achieve a lot of the trip the way they go on without enough physically travel. If we don't achieve the same results.
Yeah. Okay, let's just take one text here. Yes, when I keep bringing a text, and this one they come up from Daniel Justy K. We say we must stand strong to vacate all autocrats coming 2023. Sincerely speaking, this regime failed the masses and the country. All right. Okay, guys, keep bringing your text here. I'll play back another visit of His Excellency in Uganda. Rwanda. Rwanda now one country where a lot of African countries they admire. They're on the top of the map in terms of economic development, infrastructural wise, human rights, and all that good things. And if you look at the whole thing, we share some similarity with Rwanda. Rwanda then suffered a bloody civil war. In fact, then within 9 months, within 90 days, they killed nearly 1 million people between the Hutus and the Hutus. But today, Where are they? They are on top. Every other African country, technically or somehow, morally or physically, then they try to take a leave, they try to borrow a leave from them. And so the president thought and fit say, if I visit Rwanda, which is not bad, but I mean, their inspiration, just like we did, then too much. The example and too much now for say pass it go day. I mean, that make we get you as a president, you know, we will do all the job. Now that make you hire some people where you trust. Where you trust. In fact, one of your interview, the president said the reason why they bring come opposition other people because you not trust them. You want to work with people that will trust. We trust. So if you don't hire people where you feel say trust enough now, allow them people and they for work. If we get a representative from their country, just like we the try to talk in terms of the cost, because each time the president travel with the entourage, they need for pay them the salon people with taxpayers' money. Then they pay them with the huge amount of money per diem, rigs allowance, insurance, charter plane, all that stuff. Then they, not just Lord, not just Kimbon well all the time because we know the see. I mean, the reality not the translates. Now, now I assume say the president, we're not even see transparency in this. Back there, we see transparency. I say the president travel, he spent $200,000. And then we see 20 or even one investor can. We can employ even at 10 people and say, I go say, yes, it worth it. Because then 10 people and the other investor can employ, then get 10 family, then 10 family, then get other people. And so the country, which is good. But since the president they travel from country to country, from country, now MOU they read about more. MOU. One joke was itself now social media where somebody they say we elect our plane. So you know which is not a joke. But when you look at people and they get so annoying. Well, what to make for people at one now this expo na Dubai where we ever can touch on. I'll take out the trip we do now Rwanda quickly.
Our 25th Liberation Day celebrations yesterday. Rwanda and Sierra Leone have much in common. We share a history of violent conflict as well as the determination to work towards a brighter future for our people. Your visit here, Mr. President, is important because it allows us to reinforce our already warm bilateral relations, and we wish to build on the existing brotherly ties and our partnership in sharing experiences and best practices in key areas. The agreements that we will sign shortly reflect our wish to strengthen bilateral cooperation and work closely together to increase opportunities for the citizens of our two people.
Okay, so that was the visit of President Bio na Rwanda. What do you make of these visits?
Now, like, I'll go over the same day again and again anyway, because I'll give one quick example where the UK be they left the European Union, where they may get for negotiate till the last day, whether they get for get a deal or they may get a deal, you know, then call the deal. The UK Prime Minister no go. You understand? They delegate that duty, they appoint somebody when I be the chief negotiator, we they negotiate on behalf of the UK. That cost effective. Probably now the argument and the most of whatever reason, because for argument's sake, then will come for argue.
Yeah. Yeah.
The government say, now me reason this what it travel for. We even done a questionable, you understand? You can able challenge them, you know, and that will be another topic for another day. But for arguments, the law accepts say the reason the way they travel for, yes, then they in place. But if we're able to get alternative way them, for able to get them stop then you want sign if they talk of bilateral relationship between Salon and Uganda, law seems say that a good thing. Law seems say that good for Salon. But the president insists need for go sign this. The answer is no. You understand? Because if you look where president they travel, as you start for mention, they get for get per diem, then get for rent 5-star hotel for and get for charter flight, they get for get delegation them. As one of the viewers even mentioned, say the president they always go in the first lady way, now the only president we you don't ever see that way, and which is right. 90% of world leaders and all this all travel where did they make say they make and with them with. But in they do every travel thing with because like this same way they go say that they with the whole or get a lot of influence over waiting in decision they already make. They just continue for proof than they right because now like any side you go, you need the in with around them for let advice and for let make the right decision. And so why you appoint all the presidential advisors and why you get all the other members if are you with now your chief advisor? Where you know for travel time. Inside that same delegation, you get other chief advisors, economic and political advisors, and more. They go. So the whole, you know, in a nutshell, like 90s, it's really necessary, probably for argument's sake, I'll say, okay, yeah, you need all this bilateral relationship for build the reputation of the country in Russia, this and that. But at which cost you need for one? You can able just delegate down it to 1-2 people, then they can go foreign minister, 2 people, then 3, then can go, then do this, they able negotiate. One again an agreement, if you left for sign, you just a pop in, like Brexit deal. That's what we do. When they don't negotiate done, the deal done they now. Like as I say in our technology world, you understand? You get other option there right now, like MS Team. Like we study the whole of during the pandemic, now MS Team will then be deliver everything.
Yeah, you can sign online, sir. You can sign online.
Where you physically able to a meeting with people, they're even more effective than where you go with your body SF now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You able get any kind of option they use. I remember where in London have been that hybrid meeting in the sense you able come or you able there for it all. You attend the meeting, you know, via then social media platform they are like MS Team or Zoom, you will get the option in there. But you opt for CAM. If you opt for CAM, you get for look the state of your country, probably not bad. If you want to compare, like I listen one in video, you try for compare Salon, say Salon, all other places where they go, they meet all other leaders. If you meet them, they not to excuse for let you go there.
Yeah.
In fact, you can able cut no for go there because you say, okay, we don't go, but because of the state of the country, the economy, we want cut cost. Probably now this and now the thing is where then they go now. Okay, austerity and other meaning that the government just cut your cost, now austerity mean. Cut your cost, you know, but still they still be effective where you cut that cost in because you didn't have difficulty. You mentioned say my country they travel, then get private jet. That's a big question to self and they go back to previous administration and no put on to INSEF now. Why the country they get private jets, Salon not get private jets?
Yeah.
The reason that the same mistakes that inside they make now.
Yeah.
Because if INSEF cut in cost inside these 5 years, he cut down the traveling, probably we're able to save money, we're able to pay some of the debts and off, we economy they able revamp, they will be able to buy private jets by the time we go into the next election. So now Salon will forget jet. So even that way they mention that a shame that in part where they say, get jet, we not get that. How the country then get that? They manage the economy, they're able to save, they're able to get enough money for able to buy presidential jets for the president. Not so magic. You understand? You self be able to do them. So even when they talk and a shame when they talk down there, if previous administration not be able to do them, your administration for able to do them because cut you cost, save money, and put the money in other sectors. You can able solicit fund, you can able secure IMF loan, you can able get World Bank loan, where you don't need for go as a president.
Yeah.
You get Minister of Finance, you get financial expert there, you get people there, they get duties, and so we will do them travel there, they secure this income. Now, so that country they don't strike. You understand? Without the head of state, INSEF no go. You able expose the country. One simple way, safe like let's just touch on them. If you want attract investors in UK, now Dubai, I see now one of them clip them for meets and say when I can't invest now, you don't need for go. The information is in the out there where they put, but every country where investors and get for gold and look into them and know if Salona is a safe place for invest. Then they assess the risk and how you they treat the security in the country, you human right records, your relationship with how you they treat the opposition them. These are the things where they get assurance that they see the country say is safe, no threat, no day for war, because of the assurance that they will get. The key thing where investors they need for letting kind of any country, not to you the president, what you go tell them. If you can't you tell them say when I can't go, when I go invest in salon, it's not enough for let them go. They watch you record back home. You understand? If this na economy way safe for invest, if I go put my money there, how the security there? Now country where they at a blink for go at war because the president in relationship with the opposition is so tense. How they can conduct election there? The election they can mad with violence. Low no go, don't go spend $1 million. We set up businesses. Not to think about you can't investor. Let's say telecommunication company alone. You can't set you pull there. You don't spend millions of dollars. Then just say by election, threat for only. You lose all your money. Now the assurance in this way, investors they need, but a country not to you the president need for tell them. You they put thing modalities are in place.
Yeah, you technically they create the enabling environment.
Yes, they just create them, and when they ordinary Google, they can go there and Google and read what that country and know say, okay, Salon is safe for go. Now then tax laws and this. Now the steps and how for set up business and so they not involve too much bureaucracy, a corrupt free. The police are more effective. Now, just the thing how you put in place. Now, the assurance. The UK and the US, now leaders in the world in terms of business and all other things. And even when they deal with investment and we get zero risk in the world, and we always give you an example saying like UK. There. This assurance, they're able to give the whole world. If you're there within the UK, you will see Indian politicians. They will go India and then go Pakistan, all them Commonwealth countries that were then colonized. They're very corrupt and politicians then go thief and embezzle money then take all that money, they can't invest them into the UK because then we say UK safe. They can't buy Oz and it's safe. So just that alone, that assurance where the UK give most of the countries of the world say with democracy is more effective, with police effective, now a safe country, no risk, no denial, you work out with your money, is safe, you they sleep, you kind of safe. No, so because no country they will say the risk not, but the risk the percentage is so less. That now the reason we make the UK they attract. They don't get farm, then I say that they plant the this, then get cocoa, then get oil, then get you understand? They don't get nothing. Just the assurance now the main assets and they will rely on. So everybody will get money any sign of the world, whether na Libya, you do na which part of the world. You they touch the money, you bring that, you can inject that into the economy. Then the economy they boom. I mean, now one of the leaders now the world where you talk about investment and economies. So they not go, but it's not they go round for do that day. So President, you don't need for go Dubai for tell anybody. You don't need for go Nigeria. You don't need for go UK. Now that enabling environment, you just need for create. You understand? Then people then go research about your country and go read about her. Then they can invest. Then things can go turn around. That's all.
Yeah. All right. I'll take two texts and we'll try to play some of the clips and we'll get them boku today, but maybe we'll not go play all. This one they come up from Abdul Chalo, where they say, why are they always traveling? Good question. Another one from Asan Khan, we say, as for the Expo 2020 in Dubai, Maada Bio is doing the work of Madam Memunatu Pratt, our Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs. Yeah. I mean, these are the things that they say because when they come to the Expo 2020, now the last topic with the church because we want a climax the program. Now look at again Liberia visits.
Yeah, I think we get a bit of problem there with coverage. So like my colleague don't go offline and probably they join me shortly. So we will apologize for that. But as una see, waiting it be there about for sure again are more like the extensive traveling than the president really do. Yeah, he's back. So we're sorry for that.
Yes, family, I'm sorry for the breaking transmission. Let me try for bring down some of the videos and back. We get some shortcuts here. Let me with the bring Liberia, Liberia. Okay, let me count the Ghana yuan. Let me count Ghana yuan quickly. All right, I think that the Liberia I want to be the try for Brinkham. Not Brinkham.
President Julius Maada Bio is on his first day. On Monday hosted the president of Sierra Leone.
Okay, family, Lord, they make a fast pass. No play phone back. Another one from China.
After assuming office earlier in April, President Bio said his country would like to learn from China's experience of development. Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio is on his first state visit to China after assuming office earlier in April. President Bio said his country would like to learn from China's experience of development, take part in the Belt and Road Initiative, and enhance bilateral cooperation. Our reporter Su Yuting sat down with him for his thoughts on FOCAC.
President, good to have you on CGTN.
Thank you.
FOCAC Beijing Summit is the largest diplomatic activity.
Okay, Fambula, now go to the other country with the president visits.
Maada Bio at the Jubilee House. Discussions between the two leaders centered on education, health, energy, agriculture, trade, peace and security in the ECOWAS bloc. Edward Nyako, who was at the Jubilee House, reports that President Maada Bio disclosed that his government has emulated the free SHS policy introduced by President Akufo-Addo in Sierra Leone.
Relationship between Ghana and Sierra Leone goes way back before independence. Furabo College in the Sierra Leone capital Freetown, which was built in 1827, played crucial roles in building critical minds of several Africans, including Castle Hilford and who contributed towards Ghana's emancipation from colonialism. In contemporary times, the bond between the two nations have grown from strength.
Talking about human capital development, even before I was elected, I think it was actually on that basis that the Sierra Leoneans chose me instead of any other person. I have stated to them that in as much as Sierra Leone can boast of many natural minerals like gold, diamond, bauxite, and everything, the most important or the most precious of those for me is the human being. And if we can invest appropriately in the human being, it will be the basis for development. And it was on that basis that I actually used it as the flagship program.
Yeah, again, I think you don't lose Mr. Kagbo again. Probably just don't go off again. They play around the video then, but
yeah, like what I say, too much of one thing is we get too much of them video. Yeah, all the travel or the president on travel, Bianca begin the player, but again the videos then too much. They see we continue them from country to country, in the shortest possible time where this president don't take place. So at least we get some technical problems. We're not going to play all the videos there, but we did play like two more. The Dubai one will go climax the entire show, and then we go. Push the segment for another time. But we just take this one. They come up from Matthew Hassan, who say Maada Bio is traveling because he had no respect for the people. He had no work to do in Sierra Leone for his country that he don't care about. No president visiting him. He's going around visiting. What a shame. Yeah, this sounded irony. What a thing. Because again, even if you have a friend, okay, if you are the only person visiting your friend all the time, that relationship fixing, value. Because it will be reciprocal. Friendship, relationship will be reciprocal. It will be give and take. If I respect you, for respect me. If I visit you, maybe 1 time, 2 times, or at least people in the for but we don't see the attention what the president they pay in terms of visiting other head of states. We don't see much like that. And this don't become a burden for Salon people. It don't become troublesome. And more so, the last one where social media light with anger, now the expo. Because the president just come out Guinea, for God's sake, he just come out Guinea. Just few days where there was another bone of contention whether if you actually go to Guinea or not. People even bash out and even then try to defend. Anyway, not what the Guinea on campus. Yes, again, we're sorry, family. Lord, we manage and finish this show because today, Lord, play the last one. Lord, we hope say this good play well now.
Are you okay with the two camera?
Alright, you want to hold on for
No,
me?
it's okay. If you want me to hold for it.
Should I go in?
No, you got to, so I don't know.
Had to go in. Had to go in. Had to go in. Got it? This is wonderful. Yeah. Oh, had to go. Okay.
All right, so now I'm gonna borrow over that clip there because I know say a good number of people don't watch that clip there. That was the president where they dance in Dubai, where it just come out Guinea. That the Guinea clip we won't play, but we get some technical problem. One of we viewer just say the president not get respect for Salon people there, regardless of the outcry, and I mean people learn from where. Mean for Salon, well, they can always try to be objective, except people that will not mean well for Salon. Now, I want to understand this. Me personally, or we personally, we know they wish for the president's fail. Because the mistake a lot of people and they do, then they pray for the president's fail. Because, I mean, the thing is, one wise man tell me, say, if the president fail, no ever pray for let your leader fail. That one wise man will tell me this. We're happy for me, Papa. Is no ever pray for let the president fail, for let the leader fail. Why? Because if the leader fail, if a problem come, now outside they start. From una. Now let's take a like President Bio. President Bio say what you may, what he don't amass, whether the legal money now we don't make, or whether the illegal money we don't make now. President Bio, I must say I left for now. Maybe now 50, they go 50 something. I mean, you don't get much for live again in terms of if you watch as life expectancy, he go enjoy in life, he go live in life. I mean, he go continue for living life forever in the best possible way. I mean, comfortably. Even in picking there, if they're managing resources with the left. But if you pray for let the president fail, not only the suffer, but the point is not only the suffer. Generation yet unborn, now they go pay the price. Why make if you say Salon today with the condition? Because we forefathers there, we political forefathers there, they're not really think about the future. They're not really think about how we country will be self-sufficient or economically viable for attract investors there. Then we just think about the moment. How therefore be that kind of person. I mean, amass a lot of wealth. I mean, creates chaos in the country. I mean, try for silence anybody we go against them. These are all some of the things we talk about. So, in as much as we want for let the president succeed, but again, if I detect to within this person, right, so the president will get respect for we. I want for buy the idea this yes. The president will get respect for in voters, because as in a democratic dispensation, the president now a worker. Now employee, now we get power, now we get work for do. Therefore, any job absolutely will be work. You get for listen to your boss. Well, we're happy for be the electorates. But in Africa, you know they operate like that. The electorates, they're not the employee, and the president are the boss. So now the reverse are happy. So no matter how you talk about respect, I mean, in order to make any sense, you see the man they go on radio, they say self. they're not for questioner. Many times we don't defend the president here, but the rampant travel, the president don't travel, don't just they just put asterisk mark, say yes indeed, just like what people have say. There is no more job in the State House now. I mean, work not again. So the president just they use this particular sort of any kind of invitation for go. Like this one again, where somebody say, "Now, Memuna to Pratt, the Minister of Culture, Cultural Affairs, or even the Foreign Minister, or even I mean any kind of senior government official for going to Dubai, not the presidency." Again. It is so heart-rendering where then people then they come up with fake or even some nonsense or something will not make no sense. Sort of like for defend the president. One of the defense with them puts they say people let me say the president or the travel. The president not they go America. The president are criminal. So now the president they sure say the travel. I mean, look, this is so mad. It is a dumb. This is not a dumb idea, Dandy. It's very dumb for let somebody they think say because them they say the president travel now rights for even the church are playing them for go any side one. Even our Expo 2020 now every 6 months one sort of like that they organize na Dubai. How many presidents and be they actually? How many presidents? How many presidents have not one? Though the worst thing where I be feel so bad where the president do. Not for the dance again, where they dance like this is a sort of a provocation because we know how much the bag of rice now. More than 400,000, 420, 430 or more. We know them as alone, but we get with people there. They communicate with we. I mean, with all this, they come out playing, I mean, they sort of laugh. This people will just look at a laugh or slap at their face. But again, the you notice, I know we are not tribalistic now. We're not to talk about tribalism here, but we're trying to unify the country. Now, we know the accusation where they don't accuse the president from we start up to this point, say, in the favor union tribes people or the Southeasterners or the people that were very close. Oh, no, put on quote unquote, the Mendes. Okay. Now, we see here, now then the showcase. Now, based on this, what team Abi they expect the president to do a sort of diversifying cultural traits. Not to mend you understand, mend culture no more you go put where now some of the accusation this way they get, you understand. You bring can differ, we get the limba, we get the timney. I mean just a blend that live for let people see them of get a taste. But if you take one or you dance to one, then you go just concur or you just support or you just verify. I mean just you just like give more credence, you just lend more support to the people the way they say you're not tribalistic people person or you favor one set of the country as against the other. And this is not the mistake this way I feel say this government they make and they don't make up to 4 years now. You know they rule, you know they ever govern a divided country. Because look at the percentage of people that will vote for President Bio and look the and they will vote for in opposition when I Dr. Sambura. A few thousand, only a few thousand, like 1 or 2%. So meaning this now just like I mean, people lean even more to those people that will not even vote for you because this one that will vote for they already buy your ideology. But those people that were there out there will not buy your ideology. Now they I feel say you get for like try for embrace, try for show them say yes indeed. Look. I'm on that trust. I can able to deliver. Anyway, now we just try to round up this program. What now you take now and for let just round up this expo. I know say you don't bring and come, but for now we just get a climax on this expo. Immediately, just few days where the president come out from Guinea, straight away he charge a whole plane. But the argument to them put was now the Dubai government now invite the entire Sierra Leone delegation for Gode. How realistic is this based on your
well, Dubai generally they invite everybody in the world, but not to at your expense, not important. So probably they extend the invitation to the rest of the world, to Nigeria, to Guinea, to Liberia, but Liberia then go, then turn up with the artists then charter plane, then go with all the musicians and go put in a 5-star hotel. I've been there, Mrs. Dubai, a very expensive city. The hotels are very expensive. The cost of living, because now that them build the city on for let it attract people then for the goodie. So not to any cheap place they see, and you spend 3-4 nights in Dubai, you spend a lot of money. Everybody know that. Now, one of the most expensive cities right now in the world for live or for even visit, comparatively to even you want Canada, UK or New York or any other city you look at. Because then base everything on that, all the loan for attract investors and people for good for who expend money. So you get for look down, they invite you, yes. But when are the purpose? Why you go with all that delegation? You want market, or then say they sell for expose the musician there. Either you go expose that amicalon in culture too, we go attract them for cancer. To be quite honest, nobody. Look the cost benefit analysis. How much you go don't spend for travel with that woman or that mommy within delegation for make them go showcase their talents. Where then they able do the same thing and put it on YouTube, you market and they don't need for travel. Now these are the always say alternative ways and they a lot.
Right.
So whatever the reason, whatever the motive, why they engage in this, you understand? Then get a lot of other ways in. The Davidos and others, they do well, then get a lot of followers on YouTube, they earn a lot of money, and they're not for that goodie for go showcase and talent anymore. They don't reach there. The musicians and they're all over the world. Guinea, they get mission. They do well. And for make, let's say, Lagi Nigeria as an example, we get very successful musicians, and even the Americans, and they try for can team up with them for do collabos and now with them. They're not been go any expo, na Dubai or na US, na England, for letting get to that to that level in life. They get a lot of ways, like local promotions, and then get DJs them, then get show promoters them, YouTubers them, or on YouTube and other sides, and then promoter at a cheaper rate. In fact, that bring them even more revenue, because then they're out there now, they expose. But we don't spend all this money for go show the Cardinero and the likes them. We try for go show, for let the world know and recognize and buy them the music there. Now that really not the mission. Now for letting go know that Madam Amicalon in culture. If you look at her, the tribal side, we look at her. Now a national front we really put forward where we go, or not just one sector of the country we go represent. You look at all that stuff then. So like you say, deep you don't play. I know like we labor, we bore people then so much with so much time, but it clear. No argument, no for anything there. Like where the other person talk about disrespect, I don't talk about this. The person they show complete disregard.
I remember.
In cities in there. Because when the country they go through difficult pandemic day. Every other country a lot of economies and then recession, then GDP they don't go, jobs they don't disappear, they don't vanish, it don't the impact say, and people they did a recovery stage now for recover from all that stuff there. And whether they recover, the only way they recover now for try for you expand, you network there, you do more investment and more business and cut cost. Then they always talk and cut cost, then call for the austerity, low put and save nada. You understand? Cut you cost. Cut you delegation in travel, cut the reason and why for make you even travel. Not to every meeting or so, you charter plane, you put delegation them, everybody know what you mean. 5 go na 5-star hotels, eat na posh restaurants, they take per diem, give everybody small per diem where they go. You don't take anybody travel. The musician they go then Dubai, lodge, give them per diem. Then what you give everybody small thing. Take all that money. Who say it come from? Even that alone, you understand? Let them just come, fairly. Like we say, for transparency's sake, they can say, okay, now this fiscal year, now this are the revenue we will make. Now this we don't expend. At least for fairness sake, for inform the people there. You will see, say this trip don't make no sense. You don't spend so much money, but wait till you gain. Or waiting, you even stand for gain. So it just they make no sense. Then nobody get for end up for gain. No sympathy for Salone overall or for this president. You understand? For say okay, the reason why you know deliver, the reason why you able to create job, the reason why commodities are expensive now the streets there now because of the pandemic or other stuff then, because you know put no measures in place for let you prove to the people and say we hit things are hard, we get difficulty. Me self like president, I mean supposed for even enjoy this much, but look who cuts down me own privileges and me own benefit for la ensure say I able at least reduce the gravity of the poverty or the hardship on her. Now I make a cut off some of them in privilege and I make a cut. So what I mean by this austerity way institute. I mean we cut down some of the privilege of we ministers and I make we cut down some of the privilege of we government officials and so we able get a bit surplus who we able extend to ourselves and able solve some of our problem. Then we able solve the unemployment issue now. So we able construct roads and buildings and we able fet the economy a bit. We able tackle inflation. We able things there. Then make we able but not this. So nobody not get for and nobody they not get for bring this to you as an argument say that this make we able deliver. Because if you not deliver, let them see and by you.
Yeah.
For the you enjoy all your life in the travel delegation. Inside the delegation, we then go Dubai. The president in boy picking day, where they dance, where they dance first boy picking. Fatima be in girl picking, where you get with somebody else, we not to even a Sierra Leoneans. Then at that delegation, we go Dubai. No ask him, waiting themselves being good on the delegation. For fairness sake, everybody see the photos. Each time the president is there with the travel with him family, not to just in West in Peking there. And that Peking what they mentioned, each time the president did travel. If Fatima travel, he travel that in girl picking where he gets that in big girl picking. He gets two.
And it depends. I mean,
I as him said they just pay in ticket.
Yeah.
In lodge in a hotel, even they're not paying. That alone, why he did it? Why he go there? If he not go there for go serve, because not to any government official, not to they represent the government. Why for dinner the delegation every time? The president in Boyd Peking, now the way where like that short Jackson where they dance just next to him daddy. What's he go do there? For argument's sake, say even you bring all the reason and say for go musician and for do everything, but why you with? Okay, those in a first lady, but you care 2 or 3 of you picking there again.
The thing will surprise a lot of people and say we not even see the Minister of Tourism there. Or of course, me not see her anyway. Because we just see even before we not see no prayer. Now the first lady now they act as the first lady hold a very significant portfolio na the cabinet. It can be the vice president, it can be Minister of Foreign Affairs, Tourism, Chief Advisor, just like where one sister had the right say President Bio okay, the law just paraphrased. They say he married a woman with like attention, with one medicine by everything. And indeed, this we don't see down the many times. We know I'm bringing Fatima specifically like say we target and no, but we don't. Sometimes just call a spade because the manner in which this lady want attention is too much. It just sounds like now entertainment. How many people can be there all day? We watch the videos there, we watch the pictures, and now very few people there. We see South Carolina with stars in the perform. Now very few people there, for God's sake.
Now Sierra Leoneans you don't need for sell Caldinero to Sierra Leoneans and we did Dubai, they know already.
No, thank you.
How many investors and be then? How much money they weigh? Which investor they go attracts at that place where they able come and develop salon music industry for let we take we to at least Nigeria level. It not get for happen. We not get for see happen. Lord just say you don't do this investment, but when the result they come to we say now okay, the reason why we go the Expo 20, we spend that money now. This we don't achieve. Now we don't sign this record deal for a musician then at Dubai and the people there of Dubai now Arab people in a desert they don't get no interest in salon music. If they want to invest into music, then anybody they way one they go look the video way already they make headlines and we get collabo with top musicians and Jamaican musicians and you understand, or with Chris Brown then it will go for down them say okay these and get following if I invest my money they are able to get the returns and what they expect. But nobody, we not reach the it. No investor not get for go. Not so just because they go perform coordinate, go perform, they go bring anybody say like I'm pour the money. But just like a baseless, now that you look the delegation, the number of people that we care, then would that they didn't get where you say how relevant then they if you go then kind expo then they no minister of youth study, you go to youth step. You know, get no youth flavor. I think the minister, but you know, care the minister of tourism, we now own ministry they covered and if they go for strike a deal with a foreign government, you know, get your foreign minister. So what are the essence? Not like you picking it, you go to boy picking, you go to step.
No, I mean, if you listen what Fatima, the whole strategic position. I mean, now shadow minister of foreign affairs, vice president, very powerful. You yourself know, very powerful. Either deputize or even more or less, they step in the shoes of all of those. She has to be commended. I mean, she has to be applauded because the work she's doing a fantastic job because she has been showing. I mean that yes.
I just hope say not to the literal meaning of what he travel to because if not the literal. Because it don't make no sense, you know. We they laugh with them, but you know, a heart rendering for
right.
history get for George, President Bio and in supporters them for how they don't deliver this 5 years. The hardship it day. Nobody will tell you say tough times are not in the country and tough times are nobody. They see you as leader, you just enjoy you they travel with you and you become everybody.
And then they all they get per diem. They all they sign for checks. They all they get per diem. And we're not able to know the team we pen some of you. We're not able to know the per diem how much. It's secrecy. Now maybe another so maybe we'll go again another commission of inquiry for the first time in Sierra Leone for the presidency travel. Muna mark me word, maybe, except maybe if a new government come, they ignore that. But again, if we look at the money, we'll go because now in less than 40 days, the president don't travel. In less than 40 days, a travel go UK, a travel go Turkey, a travel go Nigeria, a travel go Guinea, a travel go Dubai. In less than 40 days. In less than 40 days. In less than 40 days, look at the country they where I don't I make a right here for millennial be like they come up for me. You know, 5 countries there: UK, Turkey, Nigeria, Ghana, Dubai, Guinea, 6 countries. I read this and said 6 countries. 6 countries in less than 40 days.
Yeah, think about that country. Each
7. I mean 7. You see, it's in there too much. In less than 40 days, the president has traveled to 7 countries. In less than 40 days.
The question is the 40 days, what he achieving all in traveling in the for argument in them we go because like you see the press secretary then waiting and put out the president go like sell out with talents and expose with musicians and for let able attract investors and you get meeting there with investors. You able get virtual meetings there with investors. What they go to buy. Zoom day, MS Team day.
You have said it too, bro.
You able create the environment as alone way say it's safe, it's good for the business. I give example to UK.
Yeah,
everybody knows say the Democrat they know it's stable. They anyhow they get elections and conduct elections and change government. The country is stable, no risk, no the way you can buy house now. See the loss you owes or you owes the bonum or you lose them out of in any other way. So that alone enough for attract investors. That is what you need for do. And go say you don't surround people that you don't probably select the people that way you trust a lot. And you say you get the human resource, you get a lot of educated people there, the master's holders, the PhD holders, where you count it, so then will come and create that differences. Anyway, I'll let Pandy for.
Yeah, so that's not like the point. For all we just signed up when the boss man, they were under now. All right, so family, I will tell her plenty thank you. We'll come back again the other time with our next segment. My name is Mohamed Kago, and I'll be there with me, your colleague Ibrahim from the UK. Ona bye bye. Next time we'll go join her back. Bye bye.